So these days, it's not enough to just write your book and make it available. You've got to market it, or you won't sell any. If you just slap it up there, you might, but you probably won't. So you've got traditional advertising you can do. You've got social media you can do. You've got website you can do. You've got a blog. You've got reviews, get book reviews, and get on podcasts, and Amazon tools, which are among the most important. So first of all, you can do traditional advertising, and I'll just, I'll try to do this really quickly. Traditional advertising is dead. No more do you have the big ads and the big magazines and all that kind of stuff. And most stuff is online, we know that. But you just don't sell books with the traditional advertising too much. But there are some elements that are still useful, and that is the press release. The press release is a very tool because you want to have it for those who we're going to talk about when you try to get podcasts and stuff like that. It's something you can send them if they, well, I want information on your book. Send them a press release. But the press release, you want more than just a single press release. But in the press release, you want a catchy headline. You want a brief description of your book all on one page, right? A brief description of your book. Maybe you can use the description you used earlier in the Amazon, right? This is where you want to put talking points. Talking points with bullet points. These are the things that radio people and writers want. They just want it really stripped down easily. So write in your talking points, what's so great about this book? What does this book offer? What's so unique? And that way they can just copy. They love that kind of stuff, and it helps get your stuff out. You put contact information on every page, and you have another page with your author bio in case they want to reference it, right? Again, when I get articles or appeal for podcasts or any of that stuff, I send them a link to this. You can also put your book and author pictures. Not what you do is you put it on there, but you put it on with a link to a URL where they can download the picture, basically. So that's what I do. I have links on each of those pictures. So if they're doing a review of the book, they can access that stuff. And then this is where you put endorsements as well. Really important to have endorsements. Not necessary, but it's helpful. I believe in them. When I'm reading book things, if I see endorsements from people I respect, I'm more likely to buy the book, so I believe in it, if you can get them. Here's the tradition. So what I did was I hired that media marketing firm, and what they did was they helped me get into, they were already connected to Christian outlets that I weren't. And what's interesting was they found out that most Christian book sales are done through Christian contemporary music magazines, because that's where they're most culturally involved. And there aren't really Christian book magazines, but there are Christian music magazines, and that's where they sell a lot of books. So they put me in there, and they gave me all this, banners, online banners, special tie-ins to events. They had music concerts and stuff like that, and they did a Twitter promo, and all this kind of stuff you can do with media marketing. But the reason why I did it once, and I haven't done it since, is I then understood some things how to do, and I could do it on my own. And I established those contacts with some of those people that I then contacted for my next book, and I'm building my list that way. So that was good. So if you can afford it, it's good to try a PR firm or a media marketing firm for your first release to help you, and you'll get some material you can learn. Of course, social media. I've got a Facebook page for the series. Some people have a Facebook page as an author. Some have both. I have Facebook page for the series and Facebook page for me as a person. And there's differences between you as a person and you as an author. There's advantages and disadvantages of both. You have to do the research on that. I may switch over to an author page instead of a series page because I'm going to be writing a lot of other books over time. So it doesn't advantage me to just have a page for every series. Why not just do it as an author? So I eventually will do that. Here's the thing, though. Don't just do social media. The big mistake is Twitter and Facebook. You just do it to promote your book and to promote people don't like that, and they won't interact with you. You've got to provide value-added content. Write some articles, do podcasts, link them up there. Post things that are relevant to that people might be interested in. You have to provide free stuff, and you have to interact with your audience. Don't be removed. Interact, because these are all keys to the social media world of this. By the way, just full disclosure, I'm not very good at social media. I'm not very involved. I'm trying to do more and more. But it is a reality, and you've got to know how to work with it well. But this is going to help you advance in your marketing of your books. But you have to be interactive with your audience. That's the one big rule. even with the idiots, try to be nice and but respond to everybody. Really, respond to everybody. Not trolls. I'm not saying trolls. That's a big difference. But, and yeah, provide something free. Provide a lot of free stuff that helps them, because they don't want people selling to them all the time. Would you? Do you want someone just sending you, oh, here's my book here, buy this, buy that? But no, you want to give me something interesting. I would show you on here. I have a book trailer. I make a book trailer for all my books. I'm not going to shoot. We don't have time. Get a website for you as an author, and then have a subdivision for the books or for the series as well. So here's my book for the series. So I have a book trailer that I made, again with stock video footage from Shutterstock. Shutterstock has photos and video footage. I did it all myself. I had to pay a couple $100 to get stock footage, but that works. And then I did an author video where I describe what's the book about and some interesting information. For people love that. People just love that. Then I also made an audio commercial for podcasts who can play it. If I get on a podcast, I say, here's a commercial to play beforehand because it's cool, and they play that. So these are all things that I've done. I've developed this whole space for this series, so that there'll be lots of material. You got to have see that subscribe up there. It really stands out. It's on every page. Give the ability to subscribe, because it's all about getting an email database, because that's how you keep in contact with your fans, and that's how you keep in contact. So I got this set up where they sign up for it. Give them something free if you can. I have a newsletter. If you sign up, I have a newsletter once a month. I send some cool article. Yes, I do have advertisements for my material, but I give one cool article that I write every month. I give them value material that they really love. Bible study stuff that's cool. How tall were the giants in the Bible? See, stuff like that. And the more you give and interact with your fans, the more that base builds, and you get that, I've got about 1,600 names. That's not a lot, but I'm building it. And those are the people who keep rebuying, and I do all kinds of things. Once I had a contest. Everyone on my email list, here's some names for the next novel. I wasn't sure. Vote. They loved it. They love participating. And the name they picked, I used. Fans love that. You want to build fan base, and you want to interact with them and get them involved. And believe it, this all takes time. This all took a few years before it's now paying for itself. Here's the trailer.
In the primeval history of Genesis, an ancient war began between the seed of the serpent and the seed of Eve. Fallen angels called Watchers begot a race of giants called Nephilim, their goal to stop the bloodline of the promised seed. But God had other plans. Chronicles of the Nephilim is a biblical fantasy series of novels that charts the rise and fall of the Watchers and the Giants in the stories of the Bible and in between. Read all 8 novels, from Noah Primeval all the way to Jesus Triumphant. Available on Kindle and paperback at Amazon.com. Go to chroniclesofthenephilim.com and enter a world of ancient history and biblical imagination. That's chroniclesofthenephilim.com.
So, and I also do a book trailer for every one of the books. It's not necessary, and sometimes they're really stupid, and I watch them and I go, So I try to make them as interesting as I can, but I just believe in doing every kind of thing you can to provide interesting stuff for people to look at. There's other things I did on my website. For instance, on this page I have pictures of the book, and if you click on each book, I have a separate web page for each of them, and when you click on it, you have all these options. Like one is I have a synopsis, and then I casted. Remember the Shutterstock? I got pictures. I cast my characters in my novel and gave little descriptions of their worlds. But Shutterstock has so many pictures. I found characters, I could cast them. I love these character pictures, and they fit. I was so amazed. I didn't think I could find that, but there's a lot of that. So I'm offering cool artwork for people. There's more. Here's an artwork page. There's a map. See these monsters. I even commissioned, see Leviathan? I commissioned that image. And I commissioned Behemoth. Those are images of monsters in the books. I paid a few $100 on Fiverr or something like Fiverr. and someone was a fan and they did it for me. But then I also found Shutterstock images that are just conceptually about the series. So every book has these images that I was amazed to find, hey, this is like something out of my story. So I labeled it that. So so I tell people, cool artwork if you love it, but also there's cool stuff. You can get free first chapters if you go there. Of course, you got to sign up to subscribe first before you get the free chapters. Links. I have links to lots of articles, scholarly articles related to what to the material in the series. Scholarly articles on giants, on Nephilim, on all this stuff, right? I want to read more material. My blog, you can link to that and go to my blog. My blog, when you're doing a blog, don't just do a blog about everything I speak. Try to focus on something related to what you're writing about. So in my blog, I talk about movies, culture, faith, and Nephilim stuff, So I try to stay a little bit focused so that people know what they're getting when they're going, and it's more of the same. And then, there's the interviews and reviews. Podcasts and book reviews. You just, basically all I did was, I looked on the internet, YouTube and stuff, and found people who just, okay, I can't get on CNN, okay? But there are lots of people with podcasts. And yeah, there's not a lot of listeners. But if you get 50 interviews out there on 50 different podcasts, you're going to be out there. You're going to be out there. And the other thing was these people do podcasts about the Nephilim and stuff. They just talk about this stuff over and over. They love it. It's like coast to coast AM, conspiracy theory stuff. They love it, and there's lots of material to talk about. So there's a big fan base in Nephilim. So I found all these Nephilim podcasts. I don't even know if they're big. They're not necessarily big, but I'm on all of them. And all the fans who really love Nephilim and want to buy more Nephilim books, listen to the Nephilim podcasts. So that's what you do. You find podcasts that are focused on content that's similar to yours. And they're going to be Joe Schmoes, and some of them will be not worth it, but some of them will be, and they're growing. And you get your niche and get involved in all of that and get as many interviews out there. The more you're out there, the more you will be seen. Same thing with book interviews. A lot of people don't do book reviews. A lot of people won't do book reviews for self-published books. That's just a reality, but there are people who are. Some bloggers just like to blog and review books. You contact them, you do your Google searches, find out. I look for Christian books, and I found out Christian bloggers who are doing books. And I've contacted dozens of them, keep track on a little list, and ask them, and you just have to hound them, just like Hollywood. Get your little database list of all your contacts, and then just beg them and offer them a free book. I send you a free book, any format you want, if you'll do a review. You just have to risk it that it will be a good or bad review. You don't know. Obviously you can't ask for only a good review, but that's all I did. That's all I did. You can do that too. Then this is the page where I have all the press kit. You click on press kits, you get press kits for any of the books or the series. You can download trailers or any of that stuff. This is for podcasts. If I'm going to have a podcast, I say, hey, here's the press kit material if you need it. And then, of course, there's the Amazon tools, this is the last thing. It's the most important thing. Very important. Number one is customers who bought this item also bought. That is hugely big on selling your book and that's something that's automatic. You don't have to do anything. But I just want to alert you to it. That's one of the best sellers of the book, because your book will show up when people are buying other books. And they go, oh, what's that? It works on me. I do it. Then you've got here's where your Kindle Matchbook is. See, if you click on, I'm going to buy the Noah paper book. Oh, look up there. Only $1.99 for the Kindle to match the paperback. Does it automatically. Still gives me the same price. Then there's the add audible narration for only $1.49. I didn't tell them to do that. Well, they do it, and they still give me the price. And that's really all automatic tools. I don't have to do anything. They do it all, but that's how it generates all these sales for you. Customer reviews, very, very important. I would just recommend, you've got to have a lot of good customer reviews. When you first get started, get all your friends, give them a free book, any format they want, and just ask them, say, would you please give me a positive review? I really need it. They don't have to read the whole book to do so. If they feel they need to say they're your friend, fine. But a lot of my friends just say, yeah, and then they just gave a review, and you give them a good review or something if you can. But that's one way to get it started. Then there's, so here's the Amazon bestseller. See my books up there, and this was the biblical fiction category, which is under Christian books and Bibles, which is under books, you know. So this is the one where it's like I can say my books are in the top 10 or 20 every month, and most of them are, not all of them, but at any particular month they are. But think about this, folks. I'm a biblical fantasy reader, or I like Bible and fantasy, but what book should I read? Well, go to the bestseller list, because there's the best ones, right? You click on there, and you're going to see my books. And that's why the bestseller lists on Amazon for your categories are so important, because readers go there if they don't know what to look for, they'll go there. And if you're in the top 10 or 20, you have a huge, it generates more and more sales, and it just keeps the cycle going. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And then you can tell people I'm on an Amazon bestseller list. All right, it's not New York Best Times, but hey, it's good enough. Good job. Then you've got your Amazon author page. Amazon, if you publish a book, you have Author Central. You go to Author Central, you can fill out all this information. You want to have it on there for people who are interested to learn more. You can upload videos. You can fill out your demo, your bio, but it also can link to your blog, and it shows all the books that you have available. Fans love that stuff. So just upload it all, and then that's part of helping you sell. And that's it. Self-publishing is self-empowering.